Welcome everybody to join this conversation on Enhanced Lifeskill platform, Be My Guest series, wherein we invite people to inspire others by sharing their inspiring stories. Hi, I'm Premsai, a mind transformation coach, very excited to welcome Sweta Samota, who is an author, a story and publishing coach, an eminent speaker. Sweta is also a marathon runner and a change maker. Sweta has helped around 300 plus authors to write, publish, and market their books. She has authored 5 fiction books, one non-fiction book, and an academic book. Her blockbuster thriller, Novel 9, is multiple time bestseller in Amazon. She is also the winner of the Story Award by SheThePeopleTv. So let's welcome Sweta Samota. Hi Sweta.
Hi, Premsai. Thank you for having me on your show. Be my guest. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm doing good. How about you, Shweta? How are things at your end in this pandemic time?
Okay, I would say they're doing very, very good. Okay, fantastic. So, yeah, kind of this pandemic has turned everything upside down, and things that were in nascent stage now, it has actually accelerated those things. And we've seen that in last, whatever we have seen, the growth in last 6 months, probably it wouldn't have happened if pandemic wouldn't have come. So,
You said it, Sweta, because even I also felt the same thing. Like what was planned, being a life skill coach, what was planned for 2021, I did all that in this. It's I like the situation was like even if it was forced, now it has become a beautiful thing to learn and transform in this
yeah.
pandemic time. So yeah, Sweta, so please tell our viewers about the journey from software professional to becoming an author.
Okay. So, becoming a storyteller and author, how my journey all started, it's a story in itself. So, you would be surprised. I would have never thought, okay, myself becoming a professional author, I mean, full-time author, and give up my cushy, high-paying software career. Okay. If you see my career, if you go and check my LinkedIn, you would see that I'm someone who scored 100% in physics, chemistry, and mathematics in 12th standard. And I'm someone who got Dhirubhai Ambani scholarship for engineering, uh, got many awards during my work in the software industry. And still, you would say I'm like Shah Rukh Khan of Swades, okay, who
Hmm.
was at the right place, okay, but not satisfied, okay.
Okay.
So you would relate to me probably because you also had similar journey.
Yes, yes.
So I quit my job thinking that I want to do something else. I mean, I was not satisfied in that limited role. I wanted to do something bigger, more for myself. So also understand my, I mean, uh, I was always following what the society wanted me to do. Okay, so I come from a very traditional family, and a a family where I was not even allowed to wear jeans. Okay, that kind of Marwadi family.
Mhm.
And when I, today when I see that why I was scoring so high, I think today I get it because I wanted to come out of that rut of life. I mean, I couldn't see myself in the place of my mother, just cooking. I mean, I wanted to make a career, and that's why I didn't want my parents to give either even one reason that no, we are not going to let you study engineering. Okay,
Okay.
so that's how my engineering happened. And author journey, I authored my first book in 2007-8, and that's an academic book. That time I had no such ambition that I would become a best-selling author that time. But things changed. Okay, in 2012 I quit my job to do a startup. Again, I was following, conforming to society. A
Okay.
geek who is going to quit the job only when he's going to start a startup. Okay, so I started my own startup, Kiva Technologies. And then we did have very good products. Okay,
Okay.
we were having apps for schools, parents, teachers, but we were too early. Imagine these apps in 2012-14 time frame, when there was no internet revolution. I mean, there was no geo that time, there was no free mobile data at that time. So the thing is, we were too early in the market. You would say that in COVID time, actually that product could have worked, but that,
Absolutely. Even I was thinking that. Yeah, yeah, true.
so 6 years, we were like 6 to 8 years early in the market, didn't work. Okay, we spent a lot of money there, burnt, but got a lot of experience. But you know what happened in that? I actually got into depression, meaning because that was my first failure of life. Because my life was always going uphill. Okay, I was always winning, and suddenly one failure, and I'm like, end of world for me. Something, people who have failed in 12th, people who have not got good marks in 12th, they would relate to me. Okay, I'm not going to get admission in any good college. Okay, something like that happened to me, and it was like 6 months. I was just crying for no reason. I mean, reason was big enough, but my family was like, big deal. Okay, go and try something else. But
Mhm.
I was not able to digest that I failed. Okay. And 6 months of crying, okay, uncontrollably, and that somehow transformed into anxiety. And I was actually, maybe when I was doing this 4 years of startup, I was actually not sharing much, okay, whatever problems I was going through. And that actually translated to anxiety, depression. And I had to consult a doctor for it.
Oh,
And uh, then what happened is, this also helped me reflect inside that what exactly I want to do. Enough of running, enough of doing what the society wants me to do. And that's when I realized that what exactly I want to do. And I looked back, okay, what do I really enjoy? And few things came out. One is, I'm a bookworm. Okay, even in school days I was called a bookworm. Right, in college also I was called a bookworm. I'm someone who's always waking up with books, sleeping with books. So I'm like, I'm so attached to books. So I went back to books, and I'm a Robin Sharma fan. So what he says is that if you want to become a successful person, a successful leader, whatever you want to do, number one thing is become fit like an athlete. So I took that to heart, that kitna roungi, okay, and
हाँ.
how long this is going to go. I have a family, I have to support them, and I cannot just sit like this. It's over now, let's get started again. And that's when I came back like a phoenix. I started with running, and that's how I also, in 4 years, I also became a marathoner. And I started reading a lot. So obviously I was reading earlier also, but this time I didn't go back to job. I had that option, okay. But that time I said, no, I don't want to go back to job. I want to build something on my own, okay.
Okay.
So that decision I took, and I burned that bridge completely, that no, I'm not going to job. And then after reading like for 6 months on a reading marathon, one book a day, writing happened organically. Okay, I didn't have such big ambition. No, I want to become a best-selling author. All I wanted to do was entertain the readers. And similar time frame, Narendra Modi ji started following me on Twitter.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
okay, so he started following me, and like he acted like a catalyst. Because when someone like him, he was already the prime minister of India at that time, he had become, and he started following me, and it was like I was actually jumping for 2 days in the house, that he's following me and announcing everywhere that he's following me. And that's when I decided that I have to do something for him. So my fourth book, Nine, is a kind of paying gratitude, or saying my way of thanking him for following me back. I know it might be like, oh wow, you wrote a book just to say thanks, but yes, uh, authors are crazy. So
Absolutely, because I also write blogs, and at times you feel like just taking out your hurt, and just put it in the paper, and let's like to be vulnerable about कि दुनिया जो सोचे सोचे, but
exactly.
दिल खोल के रख देना है. So, Sweta, can you just tell us what exactly was about that Modi ji was following? I mean, if you can just talk about that particular incident, about what
Okay.
exactly you had written, क्या हुआ था?
So see, I was engaging with him on Twitter for like more than 2 to 3 years. Okay,
Hmm.
even before he became a Prime Minister of India, I was like engaging with him on Twitter. And suddenly, like in few years, I realized, maybe he realized that I'm one of his ardent fans, or maybe one of his supporters. Although I'm not a RSS bhakt or something like that, but I'm someone who's very practical and logical, and I see it with neutral eyes. For me, black is black and white is white. Okay, and I also understand media. Okay, these days it's all paid media. So for me, I don't get swayed so easily. Okay, when it comes to taking opinions based on news. So I don't know what happened, but I was actually engaging with him in on a lot of issues.
Okay.
So he just followed me back, and that was like wow. So I don't exactly remember what tweet made him follow me back, but since then I think many people from BJP, like I think Piyush Goyal, I mean, from BJP leaders and their offices are following me. But I'm not someone who is sharing or giving a lot of useful things on politics, but I'm someone who engages with them on Twitter.
Okay, okay, great. So, and one more thing, like when you were talking about the startup of yours, like the I think you'd agree with this that the most important thing is time and also the timing, isn't it? The timing of
Yes.
you were quite ahead of time about with your vision and with your
Yes, true, true, true. I totally agree to this. That if you're ahead of time, then even if you have very good stuff in hand, it might not work.
might not
And
work.
and probably today I feel that it's good that it didn't work. Okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't be sitting with you today.
सही बात है मुझे एक और चीज भी याद आ रही है आई थिंक यू रिमेम्बर द मूवी ऑफ राज कपूर मेरा नाम जोकर that didn't work at that point of time but
Yes,
after his death it worked like it was a big success.
true, very true. And there are a lot of movies, such movies that didn't work in the theater, but they're super hits on television, like Suryavansham.
आपको channel पे आता ही रहता है वो. So Sweta, like when did you first realize that you want to write books? I mean, you told about the story about your experience about how intense your emotions were, and you were into that crying mode, and you went to the depression. फिर can you just talk about that breakthrough? कि एक एक कोई दिन ऐसा हुआ होगा, right? That one particular day or one particular incident, and why I'm asking a little more detail, like let our viewer also understand, so that they recognize that emotion and they also get that breakthrough to take that first step. Uh, I mean, याद है तो if you can just tell our viewers about that.
Sure, sure. See, the thing is, I was reading a lot of books. Okay, I told you on a reading marathon, and I was actually going to sleep with books in the during the day when my daughter isn't, was going to school. That time also, all I was doing was reading. Okay, and that's why I tell all my author students that whenever you're stuck or you don't have any ideas, go and read. So that time I was reading a lot, and Narendra Modi ji followed. Okay, and for a few days I was like on the moon, but then I realized I have to do something, and I don't know from where this thought of writing a book came, but that's how that seed was actually culminated that time, that I have to write a book. Now you would say that's your fourth book. What about the first book? Okay,
Yeah.
so the thing is, I started writing nine first, okay? But since I had to do a lot of research, okay, I am not someone who is well versed with RSS, BJP, and a lot of mentors of Narendra Modi ji. So I took over a year to research about Modi ji and all, and BJP and RSS, Nathuram Godse, Gandhi ji. A lot of going into depth. Ki what is their ideology? Who are the mentors? And I also believe a lot in Guruji. Okay, having mentors.
Hmm.
So for me, and I'm a Dan Brown fan. So when I started writing, it was not nine. Okay, I was actually starting to write something else, meaning a biography. Then I read biographies, and I was like, a lot of biographies are already written. So when this was going on, I started attending workshops here in Mumbai
Okay.
and started learning the art of writing. Okay, and when I was learning these concepts, I thought, why not test the water? Okay,
Hmm.
so that's how I came up with my first book, okay, Kiss of True Love. I attended one workshop, and while people were having lunch and mingling with each other, I was actually writing my book in that break also. And within 5 days, my book was ready. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
Mhm.
that's my first book, Kiss of True Love. That's how it happened. Okay. So although I thought that I will write a book on Modi ji first, but that happened fourth, because when I was attending these workshops, it makes sense to actually test those things out. So I wrote 3 books before actually going ahead and publishing 9.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, great. So how long does it take to write a book? I mean, you said that this book you wrote it, Kiss of Love. You wrote it in
Kiss of True Love, yeah.
Kiss of True Love. So usually, because you said that in the nine you took around a year to research, right? So I mean, just a general question. If anybody who would be watching this video of ours, just उनको अगर आप एक initiation that initial first step अगर आप देना चाहेंगे, then how long does it take to write a book basically?
Actually totally depends on what you're writing. Okay, now I can write a book in 2 days also, and I have written, okay, ebooks in 2 days also. So totally depends on what you're writing. Even my author students have written in 2 days, and some people are taking like months. So like if it is requiring a lot of research, totally depends on what kind of research you're doing. And if your book completely depends on research, like for me 9 totally dependent on the research. I couldn't start writing until and unless the research was over.
Mhm.
So in that case, it might take over a year for you to actually gather all that information and then start writing. But if you're an expert like you, Premsai, you are a life coach, you're already an expert, and you have so many case studies. I mean, you've studied and helped so many people. So in that case, for you, if you want to write a book, and if you follow my system, you can write it within a week's time, and that's a best case. Okay, people have done in 2 days also. People who are like you, okay, who are coaches, who are experts, they can do in 2 days.
Oh, I would definitely try. I would like to try that because I have written a short, crisp, experience of mine. How did I got transformed from a disc prolapse patient to a life skill coach and a yoga practitioner? So, मेरे website में भी है in the know your coach section में. I've written a very crisp one. But yes, I always have that idea कि all that in detail, if I can put it somewhere in the form of small chapters or something like that, wherein I can inspire women around
Exactly, exactly.
to connect with themselves. Because usually क्या होता है Sweta, uh, immediately after you get married, no, the whole scenario, पूरी movie ही change हो जाती है, the whole scenario gets changed, and in the process each and every woman I think just start very subtly they start neglecting and ignoring themselves and give importance to all that is happening around, but not self. So
True.
always wanted to do that, and let's see, like in the next workshop, if I can be a student and then go about
Inshallah.
really great. So Sweta, everybody knows that you are an author, you are a marathon runner. So अभी एक कुछ अलग सा question मेरे दिमाग में आ रहा है. So what do you like to do when you are not writing? So who is Sweta when because this, see, women like you cannot be defined in a box, you know
I know.
you are into many things, and still there is a lot of possibilities till we die, what we are all we can be, right? So I just wanted to understand, even the viewers would also get that idea of like who is Sweta when she's not writing, or other than the author, what is that vulnerable side of Sweta? Who is Sweta?
Okay. So does that also include that other than writing and coaching, what am I doing?
Yes, yes. I mean, like who you are and what do you do? So I'm just asking that question is who you are.
Okay. I mean, not professionally, personally, that is what you are asking, right? Okay. So I'm a mother. So obviously, when I'm not writing and I'm not coaching people, most of my time goes around with my daughter and my husband. So it's like family time. Although they do complain that I don't have much time, but whenever I get time during the day, I'm with them, apart from writing, reading, coaching people.
So basically, you prefer to write in the daytime, or मैंने सुना है author they find that the silence nighttime they very preferable for them to write. So what is your preferred time to you write?
So for me, I can write anytime. Okay, so I know how do you actually, there's a switch in our brain. Okay, left and right. So there's a creative switch. So I know how do you turn on your creative switch. So whenever I get time, it's okay. All I have to do is turn on that creative switch and write.
You're on. Okay, so in the process of writing, for sure, Sweta, you might have come across criticism, right? So how do you handle that criticism, and what pressure does it make on your mind? I mean, how do you deal with that criticism, and what was the recent criticism that you have faced or you have experienced?
Okay, so in 2017, when my first book was about to get published, okay, it's like a romance chicklet, okay, a very light kind of book, Mills and Boons, if you have read,
Yeah.
and me being a geek, okay, techie, and you can actually relate to me the kind of goosebumps I was getting when I was, about to publish my book. I was actually thinking twice, should I actually publish or not? Because people are going to think that I'm going crazy. Okay. How come a software engineer can write a romantic novel? Okay. Someone like me, okay, who has always been only in books and, never interacted much, very introvert kind of person. And how come she is writing romance? So I was really concerned about judgment, people passing comments on me in 2017. Okay,
Okay.
that time every review I used to get affected a lot. Okay,
Okay.
good review I would feel happy, but one negative review, like, okay, there are grammatical mistakes or errors, even if that, like, one is there, people make big issue, and I used to be like, shit, okay, where it is, and I would just go ahead, and I used to feel really bad, and that time it actually affected me. But now it's like, as an author, as an author, you need to understand that they're like, if 100 people are going to grab your book, some people are not going to like it. So especially with nine, there are like polarized. Okay, people in India are polarized. Either they love Modi or they hate Modi. Now, just because I've written a book on Modi, people start judging me, but that I am a Modi fan or I'm a BJP supporter without reading the book. So when you read the book, you will know that it has nothing to do with BJP, or I'm not supporting Modi. I'm giving a very practical, logical view based on facts. Okay, I've studied so much before I put that book, but without reading it, they think that, okay, I'm someone who is pro Modi.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually faced a lot because of writing a book on him, and now I don't care. Okay, I don't give a shit to people who judge me without reading my stuff. And yes, if anyone here who's watching this and thinking about writing the book, understand that you are going to face criticism. So rejection is a part of the journey. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and
absolutely.
you would also relate to it that you know if people are going to reject it, fine, go ahead, go and reach out to more people. So always have your purpose in front of you. What is your purpose? Why are you doing it? And if someone is not loving it, it's okay, it's their problem, not your problem, because your intention is pure. And yes, so that's how now I don't get swayed much by criticism.
So as you said, Sweta, like in my session also, because I have been conducting sessions in corporate workshops and all that, after each of the sessions, there will be definitely 5 to 6 people who will connect offline to talk about their issues. But at times it happens that there will be one person at least who would be definitely, having some criticism to talk about it, that this was not going good. So
Mhm.
as you said, criticism is a part of the journey, and rather, instead of at times criticism, makes us. What do you say? Isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So It's actually a good sign that people are noticing you. Okay?
Yes.
Criticism is good.
Yeah, yeah, true. So, so Sweta, the next question is, coming from this part, that does this writing, I'm sure it would be energizing you. So, still the question is like, does writing at times energize you, or at times it also exhaust you?
Yes, yes, very good question. And I would say it does both. Okay. May say, for example, if I am writing a really emotional scene, see now, as an author, when we are writing, we are actually becoming those characters. And it is exhausting when it's like really a scene that takes everything out of you. And sometimes is actually, it's actually giving back based on what you're writing. So yes, I've experienced both.
Can you just talk a little more about it, because we would like to understand a little more in detail about it, because this crisp answer, I would help the viewers to understand a little more about how does it energize and how does it exhaust you.
Okay, so see now, for example, if I'm writing a scene where I'm happy, okay, and I'm also giving, why the character is happy, or I'm writing non-fiction and giving value, so it's kind of revising the concepts for myself also. So it's actually kind of telling myself, these are the things why you should be happy. I'll give you another example. Say I'm really stressed out, okay, and I just want to, write everything out. So I do this exercise where, we call it journaling, where anything that is bothering you, just write it down. Okay. Anything that is coming in your head, you could actually abuse, you can actually say whatever you want to say and just write it down. And I've seen that it helps. Okay? It kind of soothes and suddenly you become happy. Okay? So it's kind of, you're taking the negative part out, or you forgiving people for getting it out. So the moment it's out, it's out. So that's how, one way is to get energized, become positive just by writing. Okay? And other way, how it exhausts is, for example, I'm writing a death scene. Okay? And
Okay, got it.
death of a very close person in the scene. So obviously you're going to feel it, and this person really mattered to you, I mean to the character, and then you get into it, you actually experience that pain, and for you to write that pain you have to experience it. And it's kind of, you would say that we are also actors. Okay? So so writing that down, and obviously it has not happened in real life, but you're experiencing it, so it that time it kind of exhausts you.
Okay, got it. So, to be an author, is it important to be emotional? I mean, to have that intense emotion, then only one person can be an author?
Nothing like that. Okay.
Like that? Okay.
Nothing like that. So the thing is, if you're writing non-fiction, okay, in that case, you might not uh, require those things, what we are talking about, like emotions and all. Maybe you're writing about just your expertise. So in that, and plus, we humans are emotional beings. Okay,
Hmm.
we so even if we think that we are not emotional, but somewhere down, in one corner, 1%, 1 inch will be there. So and when you write, probably it might come out that time. So
Hmm.
but
So,
yes, not required, not compulsory.
not compulsory. So you suggested that whenever you are intense in your emotion and then you write it, because even in my session also I talk about how journaling helps. Even I do that. But one thing which I have experienced with my participants, and in fact very recently, there's a lady actually. So what she does is she used to journal, but the thing is वो उसके मन में जो भी negatives आते थे, she used to write all that. No, but then what happens is when then again she goes back after a couple of days, उसको फिर से पढ़ती है, and then she goes to the that again gets
Oh,
triggered. So
okay.
and why I'm saying is because when I was in my school college days, I used to write the whole in detail in my diary, and then after a couple of years, I still remember शायद like immediately after my marriage, when I went back to my mom's place, वो diary मुझे मिली थी. And then when I started reading, oh my God, these are the things I went through. Then I was a little, that triggered me.
Hmm.
then what, being into this profession, I thought that ki, why not, instead of writing all in detail, why not twist a little bit the writing pattern and write something which would help the energy to flow. So my question here is, see, everybody would not like to be an author.
Hmm.
You know, being an emotional being, each and every human being goes through some mental, health issues or emotional fluctuations. So if they want to journal, what are the couple of things they should keep in mind not to do? Because हर एक कोई उसको लिख के अगर उसको आप, if you just tear it और उसको जला दिया,
Exactly.
then even better it goes.
Yeah, better. Just,
Throw it
take, throw it off, get rid of it. जब भी met करीना कपूर फ्लश कर दो.
flush kar do. So, so I was talking about that lady. So she shared a few. उसने जो लिखा था, the snapshot, and I was, just focusing on the lines. It was a more of mental drama rather than, very few lines were the facts.
Okay.
You got it right.
Yeah, got it, got it.
So fact matlab, okay, I am not feeling good is a maybe a fact, but then the rolling out of overthinking from that point and then to the infinite, we don't know where it
Exactly.
went.
We tend to overthink and
Yes.
we tend to blow it out of proportion. It's okay. I mean, when we are really angry, we tend to do that.
Yeah. So in that scenario, what would you suggest कि जो नहीं करना चाहिए? One, suppose if I'm very much intense in my emotion and I'm ready to journal, is there a way to journaling, or and or we should do something? Are there certain do's and don'ts?
No, no. See, the thing is, this is a very good question, and this is like a treat for the people viewers. The thing is that I also use this for writing my parts of the story. Okay, so when I'm really angry, why I'm angry, consider it as an opportunity. So authors are like documenters of real life, and they are. So there's a saying that everything fiction is has happened. Okay? So you can use that opportunity to write a story in which the character faces this problem, and then how that character comes out. The moment you change the perspective, you are actually feeling, you are going to feel good that you are turning your emotion into a product. So I've used that. I've used that. It's not necessary that you have to journal all the time. You can actually start writing stories out of these experiences.
Okay, I think you have triggered one of my aspect of NLP, because you know that I'm a NLP certified. We have a concept of, association and disassociation. So there's a technique, and even the perceptual position of first, second, third, and fourth. It's a tool of NLP, wherein you get disassociated from the character. So that's what I think you are trying to say, that you disassociate with the character and create that character in your writing, and
Yes.
then that's what, right? That's what I have understood. And then write a story around it, which may be a 1 or 2 pages of, create
Yeah.
another imaginary story, and then help that character to come out of that particular
Yes.
situations. I mean, great. I mean, that's a very good way of looking at it.
No, I got such question in one of the literary festivals also, and I told him that this is so good that you're going through it. Okay, he said that I have so many struggles and I'm crying. I said like use that emotion to write it, okay? And you might come up with a lot of good stories. So when now how I was depressed, anxious, and I was able to come out of it by writing also.
Mhm.
So use that energy to actually write something, okay? And probably you might come out with a lot of good stuff.
So, like, it's creating an avatar of that particular character, and that's what you're trying
Yes,
to.
so basically a character is going through the same situation like you are going. You will be able to describe it well because you are actually experiencing it, and that is why then you are kind of becoming a very good observer. So authors are very good observers also.
Yeah.
Like what are you wearing? What is happening in my body? Trembling, sweating. So all those things come naturally then because you've started observing. So people who are like, how do I become a good observer? This is one of the ways. Start observing yourself. You're getting angry. What are you feeling? Write it down, and yeah, you'll feel good then.
It is one of the tool wherein any person would come out of any situation, because I think this year in the starting I went to a meditation called Vipassana.
Yes,
Have you heard about Vipassana meditation?
heard a lot. I have heard a lot.
I went through that for 10 days,
Wow.
and it was no phone, no
I
connects, no talking for 10 days. You
exactly.
have heard about it.
I've heard.
It's not that easy, but at the same time, after fifth or sixth day, you will realize what all your mind is doing, and on the seventh day, you will feel like an accomplishment that I'm strong. I'm still
Mhm.
strong enough that I exist. And at the same time, the only technique that is being taught is just go through the observation, that is observe your body, all the sensations that is happening from tip to toe. यही करना होता है. And then we practice. Even I still practice on a daily basis. Basically morning evening दोनों time practice करने के लिए these people suggest, but then I only practice in the morning time for 1 hour.
So
So
we authors are very good observers, So we are actually meditating. I mean, I am meditating when I'm writing is kind of meditation where you're actually observing even a breath. Okay, is it slow breath or it's like agitated breath? Okay, fast breath. Because when you're writing, if you write to that detail, the reader is going to feel it. So yes,
because you're entering to that character, so automatically you start getting into your body sensations as well. So see, I mean, I think you'd agree that meditation is not about bas aankh band karke baith jao. I mean,
not at all.
you can inculcate meditation in all that you do from morning till evening. I mean, in your life as well. Yeah, I mean, well said, Sweta. So my next question is, uh, I have because you were sharing that you have written more of your imaginary, and then this book on the gratitude for Modi ji and all that. So what are your plans? Like, do you only write original real life stuff, or you also deliver according to the demand of the readers of yours?
Okay, so my 5 books are fiction. Okay, so they're all imaginary.
Mhm.
Fourth one, the nine, is actually a book based on facts. So the way Dan Brown writes, facts plus fiction. Okay, it's for infotainment. So for me, purpose is infotainment. Although now I'll be coming up with a series of books because my readers are demanding it. I mean, they want to know how do I write and how do I run. So I'm a marathoner also, so I've planned these books on running and writing because I've got a lot of requests that, can you please write books so that we can also start writing and, becoming fit. So these are the 2 series I've planned that should see the day very soon. I mean, in 2021, hopefully.
Coming soon, right?
Coming soon, yes.
So, being a mom, Sweta, what do you suggest for the all the moms around out there? Because after being a mom, emotions किस level पे fluctuate होते हैं. You all know, right? We being a mom, we know that, we have experienced that. So, how do you encourage these moms to start writing something? Like, if they want to become an author, great. Other than, like, just to manage their mental well-being and mental health, uh, how do you like to encourage them to start journaling? I mean, so that they should not take into this pressure of ki, oh my god, daily diary likhna hai. So can you make it very simpler, and talk about that, and encourage and empower them to start journaling, so that that would be a kind of tool for their well-being?
Yeah, I totally understand what you are saying because that is one of my, books. How do you actually use writing to get whatever you want? Okay, the law of attraction, the secret, where you're supposed to write every single day. What do you want? Okay, that's again related to writing. So maybe if you're not journaling, you can actually start with what do you want in life every single day. Start repeating it, and if you want something really badly and you follow this model of writing every single day what you want, plus also if you have read law of attraction, then you have to take action also with writing, and you have to be observing, okay, what signals you're getting around you, because now you're asking the universe, and then you have to be observant that yes, I'm getting these signals, now this is the action that I have to take. So that's the best way to get whatever you want. Maybe you're not happy, or you're happy, and you want to become happier, or you are worried about someone, maybe your son or your family, or you want to start earning now, have a second income in your family. Best way is to start writing, because it doesn't require a special talent to write a book. All you have to do is follow the right techniques to it, and you can become an author. So that's the other way to look at it. But at least law of attraction to follow kar lo. I mean, start from there. At least you can start writing what you want.
You said it because I am a live example for that, because I can share many examples, because ये यही जो Be My Guest series है, let me tell you, I had this idea long before, I think, and I was discussing with my husband last year in the month of April कि I wanted to have a platform wherein I just want to interact with people, and that conversation should inspire someone.
Yeah.
And then it was very organically, I didn't approach anyone. It was very organically like it started happening, and then now I have a series of guests like you know, who I have yet to go for a conversation with them. And apart that, when in my starting of my career, we were in Delhi, basically, and we wanted to move to south, to settle over there. कोई प्लान नहीं था. It was, everything was fine. Me and my husband were working there, and then just for like when my child was born, and within a 1.5 year, I thought like, I think we should go to the neighboring state of ours, थोड़ा घर के पास रहेंगे, and all that was coming into picture, because Delhi में you don't have the near and dear ones. तो चलो, या तो अपने स्टेट चलते हैं, और maybe because we are all into software industry, so we have to look for those areas wherein companies ज्यादा हो, to for the other possibilities of opportunities. So कुछ मैंने कभी हैदराबाद देखा भी नहीं था. I just in my white vision board, I always follow
Mhm.
vision board. Yeah. That's the reason I told you law of attraction works. वहां पे मैंने number 1 point पे लिखा था कि we'll move to Hyderabad. And within 4 months, I think in the month of January I wrote it. By June 10th we were in Hyderabad.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And that was the first, and the second one is the disc prolapse. And all the great doctors and orthopedic surgeon suggested, Premsai, stop doing your training programs, because you're not supposed to stand for long hours, belt pehno and all that. And same thing like yours, no, crying for a couple of months, and then after that you feel like कि बहुत हो गया रोना. Now I have to take the accountability and ownership of doing something. And then I started looking the other side of exploring things, and then I came across this Ayurveda and yoga and all that, and then now I'm a yoga practitioner. तो कभी कभी क्या होता है कि जिस direction में हम देखते हैं, exactly उसका opposite direction में answer होता है.
True, very true, very true.
So when you start writing all this, like you said, no, जो चाहिए लिख लो. I recall the dialogue of Shah Rukh Khan, Om Shanti Om में.
Yes, yes. Actually, it is from Secret only.
It's from Secret only. So Secret का movie भी है, I think it's in
Yes,
English and Hindi. उसका एक book भी है.
yeah.
If so it's a, the that spark of hope it creates if you start looking at it and start implementing it. So what all I always tell my participant is, there are two way of looking at it. One, कि आपने जान लिया, so that is a kind of the downloading of information like in your mind, so that is, you are becoming a portable Google. But then
Mm,
you don't stop there, because that's not going to help you. You have to
yeah,
more and start implementing to know it.
exactly. True, very true. Well said.
So experiencing and knowing are two different things.
Yes, totally.
And
Totally
you have
agree.
experienced it all. And I think all the women out there जो भी ये video देख रहे हैं, please एक बार try करके देखो, start writing, and I'm sure you will see within 6 months, you will see the signals, you will start observing it, and समझ में आएगा. Like Sweta said कि you will start getting those links, and then you will be surprised, oh my god, how is things happening, समझ में नहीं, like you will
Mm,
getting the answer, but you're not knowing how it is happening.
right.
Magic of when universe start giving back to you.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, so
I have a question for you, Premsai.
yeah, please go.
Now that we are discussing, so if someone wants to get coach, you are a life coach, and how do you actually coach people on productivity? How can they become successful? If someone wants to approach you, how do you actually coach people?
Yeah, so basically, Sweta, what I do, I go for a personal one-on-one coaching and I help people to overcome their limiting belief because that's what I have done in my life and I know what it takes and how is the process. So irrespective of whatever they are going through about the limiting belief, anybody who approaches, they approach me, what I do, I take through a series of sessions on a weekly basis. And the first couple of sessions, I just keep quiet. I listen to them
Okay.
because that's very important. I observe, I listen to them, and then after that, I customize, a series of, doable and simplified things so that they can start implementing. And that way, I use NLP tools and techniques wherein, because see, when a person changes, at times we talk about only changing the feeling.
Hmm.
बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे होते हैं कि चेंज चाहिए बट they don't understand exactly what is the meaning of change. They
Hmm.
understand कि feeling change कर देने से change हो गया. No, but when you are
Mhm.
working on only the feeling, it can also be done कि एक बार movie चले जाओ, the feeling changes.
Mhm.
But then when
Yeah.
you come back home, it's all the same.
Yes.
But
Yes.
change has to happen very at a very deeper level. For
True.
that, a life coach can be a great mentor to be. So in this weekly sessions, what I do, I break through those limiting belief.
Okay.
And this is something where a coach cannot do anything 100% if the person is not willing to change.
I agree. Totally agree.
So that's how I and it is like it can be 4 sessions, it can be 6 sessions, it can be more than that. There are people who are in touch with me for a year as well. Like I'm always available on phone, and whoever is willing to change, I'm there. Uh,
Okay. How do they approach you then?
they go to my website, and wherever I am available, maybe like in the description box I would be sharing the details of my links and my FB links and Insta links. So I am open, and there are phone numbers in my website, it's there, and they can write to me over and also write an email, and then that way we can take it to the first mode of discussion. So these
Okay.
days virtually it is happening. So वैसे शुरू होता है. So
That's amazing.
so yeah, so coming back to you, Sweta. So my next question is, do you think that it is a writing is a spiritual practice?
It again depends actually what you're writing and for what you're writing. I mean, what is the purpose of your writing?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Everyone has a different purpose. Like, for example, a business owner or a consultant or a coach might want to write to share his or her expertise, or they want to generate leads from the book. So totally depends. Okay, uh, why you are writing a book. But in general, if you're just journaling, then it becomes a spiritual practice. But otherwise, totally depends on what is your purpose.
Okay. Any suggestion to children and also to the men out there? Because women are expressive, children भी express कर ही लेते हैं, but I think they many people do not think of writing because they are in that space of expressing their with their jumping, playing, and all that.
No, actually, kids are really creative. So I've been coaching kids as well,
Oh.
uh, 10 and above. So for me, my students are 10 years to 70 years, okay, writing books. So kids with me, like 12-year-old, they're writing their own books.
Mhm.
So it's all about their interest and how parents actually channelize their energy. It's totally, depends on that.
Interest.
You
Okay.
cannot force people to actually write. I mean, kids. But if the kids are showing interest in reading books, then probably they will have interest in writing as well.
And what is your experience, Sweta, about men becoming an author? I mean, why I'm saying is because there are I've seen women to be very expressive, like
But men, yes, they too are very expressive, and yeah, going by the numbers, authors who are men are more than women authors.
oh, okay, okay. Hmm. So, Sweta, do you conduct workshops or any camps or any thing wherein the upcoming writers can get benefited? And if you can talk about that.
Yes, so definitely. See, I'm coming up with a 2-day event, which is on 16th and 17th of Jan. It's like a boot camp or a crash course on writing and marketing your book. So if anyone wants to start writing, okay, get a lot of things done in 2 days. Okay, day one is all about writing your book. Day two is all about marketing, and they're like full day hands-on intensive program.
Okay,
So
online or offline?
it's online Zoom, and I'll share the link with you, and you can actually share it with everyone.
Great. I mean, that would be the best part wherein people, those who are, going, they need to go to the next level to become an author can, get enrolled in that program of this 2 days where they can get benefited. And it was amazing and excellent to be connected with you, Sweta. And a lot of points that we discussed today, I'm sure that our viewers, where they are going to get benefited with that, even if they don't want to become an author, but still they would start writing for sure. So
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much, Premsai. I had fun actually.
Yeah, a lot. I mean, there are a lot of similarities also we could find, like being, even if my domain is different, but then the writing and all that, and the thinking pattern is all the same, because I think other people would also take it into very seriously about how they can journal and keep their mental health well in this pandemic situation.
Yeah.
So
So
thank you, Sweta. Sweta, thank you so much for being with us on this Enhanced Life Skill platform.
thank you so much. Thank you, Premsai. Thank you.